I'm just gonna be on a roll and just like film shit. It seems appropriate since it's October now. I'm gonna do my first story time video, I guess. And it's about my job that I started not last month, because we just went to the new month. I started like August 22nd, something like that. So I work as a security officer. And before you say anything about my hair or any of that, I wear a wig to work. Because they don't like none of this. But literally almost everybody knows I'm wearing a wig because I tell everybody. But that's not the story time, obviously. So I've been there for almost a month and a half now. We're getting there. And the place I work at is haunted. Like a motherfucker. But it's not like I deal with stuff every night. It's just fucking spooky. Like, ugh. I just don't like doing patrols in one of the buildings in particular. There is 2 buildings. And both of them have activity. So, we have a building over here, and a big parking lot in between. So, we are subcontracted security officers for a holding company. I'm not gonna say, just because these people be picky about what you say on the internet, and my bangs are driving me crazy. These people are picky, and I don't want to say anything that is gonna get anybody pissed off at me if somebody sees this video. Seriously, what the fuck is up with my bangs? Whatever. Anyway, so big parking lot, 2 buildings on each side. We'll just say building 1, building 2. Just make it easy. Building 1 is like 5 different levels. You have your lower level. I wouldn't call it basement because there's like offices and the cafeteria and stuff down there. And then there's 4 levels of like cubicles. Just pretty much all cubicles except for the lobby. Yeah, just cubicles and like coffee stations. And they do I think they do project management and stuff like that. Honestly, I haven't got too deep into what they do over there. The other building has 3 levels. It's basement, which is the danger zone. The basement is huge. It's where all their generators and their batteries and stuff are at. That's to back everything up if the power were to go out. The first level is the lobby, and then they have a data center or data area. It's like multiple rooms of all the data stuff. Or the towers, that's what I'm trying to freaking think of. They have to keep those rooms like 50 degrees, and basically our job is just to make sure, like watch the alarm lights to make sure their temperature doesn't go up. And we do patrols in all these areas. The top level is just literally more cubicles, but it's for the IT and those types of people. Maybe they have some like sales or something. I'm not too completely sure. I just know on 3rd shift, we mostly just have IT people come in. Anyway, I feel like that's quite a bit of detail. The basement is pretty fucking huge. I think it's like 20 feet up to the ceiling, but there is... See, I want to describe it how tall it is because there is the problem area, as I'm going to call it. But they call it the mezzanine. But I call it the problem area. There's like this little area that's 2 levels in the basement. So you have one group of rooms in the bottom and like some machinery stuff, and then you have the mezzanine and you go upstairs, and I think it's just literally just, I honestly don't know what all this shit's up there for. It's just loud. All you hear is fans blowing from the machinery under it. But that's the area where the fucking shadow figure is at. they were pretty quick to let me know about the shadow figure. And I was like, fuck you. I want nothing to do with the shadow figure. I don't want to see anything. I'm good. We're Gucci. I don't need to see anything. I already had my childhood home. It was haunted. Been there, heard that, seen that, fly off the shelf. We're good. So, literally like maybe 4 hours into my shift when they're trying to like show me the maps of the areas before I even go in that building. She's one of the supervisors. She was covering for her mom, who was the other supervisor, because they can't work together because, you know, family rules, all that stuff. Anyway, so she was the first person I met over there. And she's like, yeah, I don't like the mezzanine. I was like, whoa, why? She's like, oh, it's just creepy. I was like, creepy because it's dark or something? Because I've never been over there, so I didn't know. That's literally lit up like a Christmas tree down there, but she's like, no. She's like, there's a lot of light. Just, you always feel like somebody's watching you down there. I was like, ugh. Because I already had a job when I was working in the movie theater where I would get that feeling sometime in a couple of the movie theaters. But it wasn't all the time, but I would literally just, and it would be from one spot. I would always look down and I'd be like, I feel it coming from this corner over here and it's freaking me the fuck out. But I'd always do this thing where I'd keep looking over there, but like, I don't want to fucking see your ass over there, but I know you're over there. You need to cut it out because you're freaking my shit out. And I'd literally just try to clean the theater as fast as possible. I work third shift over there too. I have a habit. Anyway, because this video is going to end up being way too long. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so she's like, yeah, you always feel like somebody's watching you over there. I was like, well, that's great. But, you know, I've dealt with that before. Not that I like it, but I've dealt with that before. Then I meet someone else who I was actually taking over for. She had put her 2 weeks in, like, right before I came over there, so I was taking her shift over. So she was training me I think she was training me just to do rounds in I'll just call it the building 1. Building over here with all the cubicles. And she was like, I was like, oh yeah, man, I make names up here. I'm so bad at making names up. We'll just call her Tina. Oh yeah, Tina told me that in the other building it's creepy over there. And she goes, oh yeah, the shadow figure. And I was like, oh no, she didn't say nothing about that. She just said it felt like you're being watched. She goes, oh, she's like, yeah, people seen the shadow figure. She's like, me included. She's like, it followed me around one night, scared the shit out of me. I was like, no. Then she told me later, more on that story, that it actually grabbed her arm, and that's when she screamed, leave me the fuck alone. And she said it did leave her the fuck alone after that, but it scared the shit out of her. So that's that. Yeah, that's her story. You know, she had a lot of other, see, and me and my bangs again, I'm just getting weird with these damn bangs. She had other things she seen over there, witnessed. She also was telling me about one of my other coworkers, making names up again. We'll call her Reba. I was trying to think of names that aren't, like, anywhere near the people's names. I suck at this. Anyway, we'll call her Reba. That literally, like, a week before I started there, Reba had got she didn't get a phone call per se. It was that we had an alert because we have intercom system, so there was a thing going off on the phone that said back door. And everyone's like, why does it say the back door? Like, they didn't know there was an intercom thing that connected to the phone out there. This happened 3 times that night, apparently. She picked up the phone, said hello, music's playing. Happened 3 different times that night. And she said each time it was a song that related to something she had said that day, which is even more freaky. Later, they were trying to figure out where that intercom was, and then someone said, oh yeah, that thing's been broken forever. And apparently it happened a couple other times the days following. One time was on the day shift, where they pick up the phone and music's playing. I don't know what the other songs were, but she had told me one of them the first incident was You Are Trouble When You First Walked In, that old song. She said that her brother always calls her Trouble, so she thought that was really creepy. So, yeah, that was a interesting story. Luckily, that has not happened since I worked there. It would be interesting. I don't know how I would react to that one. What did happen, because, of course, I don't get 4 days into my working there until nobody says anything about Building 1 over here. Everyone keeps talking about the basement and Building 2 and the shadow figure. That's all I keep hearing about. Shadow figure, weird phone shit, shadow figure. Building 1, doing a training round, because she wanted to make sure that I was fully trained on this round. Actually, I think it was day 3. It wasn't even day 4, because day 3 was the last day of my training. Doing the last training round to make sure she didn't check me off on that bullshit. And me and Reba finishing up that lower level, and we literally just unlocked these doors and we're walking down, and then we hear a door open and close, ka-chunk, like one of the doors we had just unlocked. Of course, Reba, being the professional she is, just like, hello. It's like, bitch, I'm like, nope, I'm good, I already know, nope. I make a terrible security guard, guys. Like, it's like, nope, it's a ghost, bye, we out, we Gucci, nope. I already know what that was. And she's like, huh, it's so funny, nobody's there. Like, no shit, bitch, nobody's fucking there. Nobody's there. It's a fucking ghost. She's so calm about this stuff. Every time something happens to her, she goes, huh, that was weird. It's like, she's so anxious about everything else, but then, like, I don't know. I wish I had that attitude. But for me, I am just scared shitless most of the time. So, that was my first incident. My second incident, actually I had 2 in the same night, which was Labor Day weekend. First thing was me and Reba working together in Building 2 in the lobby. And it was just weird. We were talking and like this giant pop bang noise under the desk. And I looked under there. I made sure nothing fell. I was making sure there's no bad wiring. That just goes in my unexplained, couldn't tell you shit about it, but it freaked me out. So, I just put that in the possible haunted bucket. Same night, I did all the rounds in Building 1. So, I should preface this. We have a supervisor on the first shift. We'll call him Ron. Ron, when I told him about my first experience, he goes, oh, and I had asked him, because he's seen the shadow figure too in the basement, but he's seen a bunch of stuff. He's a little more sensitive to that stuff, but he was all happy to tell me everything. He's like, oh, have you seen the orbs in the basement? I'm like, no. He's like, have you seen the lady in the blue dress on the 3rd floor in Building 1? No. I'm good. I told him, I said, I don't necessarily want to see anything. I said, I'm just having these experiences. I'm good. I can somewhat handle the weirdness, but the whole seeing things... Anyway. So, nobody else is in the building Labor Day weekend except for us as security. Reva's in building 1. I got my guy down in the control room in the lower level. He's not going anywhere. He's sick. He's an old guy. He wasn't doing any rounds. He was in control room watching cameras. So I'm doing all the rounds in that building that night. And I do my first round. And when we do our rounds, we have checkpoints we have to hit with this scanner on the phone. Hit my checkpoints, fine. Everything's fine. Go around the second round, 3rd floor, get to one of my coffee cabinets. It's closed. Okay. I get it. You're here. I'm good. I don't need to see you. I know you're here. That was that. Nobody else had been on that floor. Nobody else was there. I was the last person to be up there. I left the cabinet open because it's easier to hit our checkpoints leaving the cabinets open till the end of the shift. Okay. Message received. So that was the other incident. I've had some other weird things where hearing noises like things falling over. I was in the bathroom in building 2 one night and the handle was jiggled and nobody was out there, and the only other female in the building was my coworker, and she can't leave post if nobody else is over there. So if I'm in the bathroom, she can't come over and try to use the bathroom. So that was weird. And then the same night when I was doing rounds in the other building and I stopped to use the restroom, I could hear from the men's restroom what sounded like someone slamming the toilet seat down. There was nobody up on that floor. That's a very distinctive noise. So, these have been a lot of my weird experiences. My last thing for me is, this could go either way in my head, as either I was not feeling good that day. I was doing rounds, the second set of rounds in building 2. And I was in the lower part of the basement, but it's the area directly under the mezzanine. And I went to scan one of the things, and as I'm turning, I swear I saw a figure in the corner. But, see, my policy of I don't want to see your ass had me fucking run. Like, I'm serious, guys. Like, I'm good. Everyone else is like, oh, you should have tried to take a picture or something. I'm like, bitch, no. I'm good. I fucking ran. I was not feeling good that night. And I already felt really vulnerable. And I was like, I was freaked the fuck out because I was already feeling vulnerable. And I was like, oh, I am like the worst condition to be going down here with this fucker because I feel like he wants to prey on someone who's vulnerable. That's just my feeling of the situation. So, but I was describing it to Reba one night, and she said, like, the way I did my hand motion, she goes, because she wanted me to give more description. I was like, well, bitch, I saw it out the corner of my eye. Like, I was like, it's a human form. I was like, and I know that wall is blank. There's nothing on that wall. It is a white wall over there in the corner. And she goes, oh, she's like, but the way you're doing your hand motions is like how everyone else who's seen it described it. And I was like, she's like, but there was like a very specific feature these other people said. And I was like, well, I ain't getting specific because I wasn't like eyeing the motherfucker down. But we've had multiple of our security officers who have seen the shadow figure. Now, even the ones who haven't or who are skeptic, enough people have seen it now that they're like, it's kind of like a weird joke, but they're also uncomfortable in the mezzanine. Like, they don't like being up there, and everyone admits to like speed walking through the area, so I don't feel so bad about doing that. I mean, we got mostly like veteran military people, like retired military who work there. So, like, a lot of these skeptic people, when they hear these old veterans, like, talking about this stuff, they're it makes them question stuff, or at least I see them questioning stuff, but a lot of them are still like, well, I wish I would see something. I was like, nah, I'm good. Of course, Ron, he sees everything, and they give him trouble. They're like, oh, he's talking about seeing alligators and stuff, and like, oh, he's being super literal, because there's literally a sign in the basement that says, beware alligators and snakes. I was like, he's literally being literal. Like, he's just that kind of goofy guy. The last story, I guess I could say, with the whole workplace situation that Reba just told me the other day was she was talking to one of the holding company's employees, because they're separate from us. Like, we do their badges and all that, but, you know, they're paid by the holding company and we're paid by our subcontracted company. Anyway, she was like, oh yeah, I was talking to somebody and she randomly said, oh, you want to see the ghost? She's like, I don't even know why she brought that up. And I was like, oh no, I've heard people talk about it. And she goes, oh yeah, we got somebody who won't even go in the basement anymore because they went down there one time and they had a really freaked out experience and saw the shadow figure and they won't go down there anymore. I was like, I wish I had the option. Like, I have to go down there. I try to, I'd rather do runs in the other building. Like, God, yeah, I'm being a little bit of scaredy cat. Oh, I guess I have one more. Reba, a few nights ago, we have weird stuff with our elevators a lot, but like, one of the elevators I just think is junk. But the elevator to the basement isn't usually weird. Like, it just is. It's a giant, one of those elevators you see a lot in hotels. I can't think of the specific name for it yet. It's one of those elevators. So, Reba was talking about how she was doing the round, and she was pressed the elevator, and she started to walk in, and she said as soon as she put her foot in, like, it was starting to open, and then it just closed on her. Like, she's like, that's weird, that's never happened to me before. I was like, bitch, it's a ghost! It's the fucking ghost! Like, I mean, there's more than one, I'm sure. Just with all the weird shit that happens over there, that might be the back door ghost, because that's not too far from the back door. Who the fuck am I to know? I mean, I should ask Mr. Ron, because he's talking about all kinds of creatures. Anyway, I guess this is my rambling story time about my haunted ass workplace. I'm sure I'll have updates, because, I mean, I'm not going anywhere unless the thing tries to fucking grab me in the pit of hell. That's just the truth right now. Because it's like down the road from my apartment, so convenience is king. Even if it's haunted. Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm tired. I'm about to go to bed. You have a good night, or a good morning, or whatever the hell. Peace.